you know, a lot of times people don't understand 90% of leaks in the basement are caused by plugged gutters. And majority of people living here, it's a lifestyle choice. It's a little bit of everything for everyone. Now you see why this is a great place to live, work, and play. So today we're gonna take you through the most important process of buying your new home, whether it's brand new house like the one behind us, or existing home, or some historical charming home. The most important part of your process is the inspection. And today we're gonna highlight what you need to watch for and how crucial it is to have amazing inspection done before you purchase home. People build dream homes such as this. It's absolutely gorgeous, and they don't think they need an inspector to check everything for them. What are your takes on it?
I think everybody should have an inspection. Brand new home, old home, used home. The importance of the home inspection is education.
Yeah.
It really truly is education so that the people can protect their investment.
Top 5 things that I always suggest our clients are asking and checking: roof,
Right.
foundation, mechanicals. Then we have plumbing and electrical.
They want to know, are these systems sound? Because I go over everything that they need to know. I tell those people so they understand what it is they're buying and how the house is going to operate.
Let's go check on the plumbing, because so many times you buy this beautiful home and the water pressure is off. Like
Yes.
you turn your master bathroom shower and then you're running laundry at the same time, but your water is cold, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so you know, these are the types of things that, you know, I want to make sure that this is going to work the way it should, that we don't have any leaks here, that this is tight, this is sealed, so water can't get behind it. And then I look at the grout lines and the tile on the floor. I want to make sure that the water flows towards the drain. A lot of times in some of these new builds, I will shine the flashlight down here after I've shut the water off, and there'll be a puddle of water in the back of the shower that won't drain towards the floor drain. That's an issue because it's going to cause mildew and mold, and it can cause the grout to break down quicker, and then you have a water issue. I will also run other fixtures at the same time and fill up sinks and make sure that we don't have any leaks under sinks. I already shook this tub one time to make sure that it's solid and it's not going to slide and tilt this way, because I have encountered that plenty of times before. If they don't fasten the tub properly, that can lead to a water intrusion problem below the drain.
So many times also people don't understand different water supplies. Let's talk about it, because not every house is on public water.
That's true.
So if you're not on public water, what do they need to worry about?
Well water doesn't have the same pressure. Well water pressure is acceptable around 40 psi, whereas public water should be somewhere up around 60, or in that range between 60 and 70 psi. So the water pressure with well water is going to be less than what it is with public water.
And it's not
more
just
even.
the pressure, it's also health department has to check on the other systems, right?
Yes.
Because of possibility of bacteria and
Yes.
other things that can go wrong with the other water supplies. That's why it's so
money.
important to check these systems before you
Yes.
buy a house, because God forbid there's a problem. To fix these problems, we're looking at 20, 30,000 repair,
Yes.
and that can bring anybody financially down. Well, let's go in the basement, because there's so many things, electrical and mechanical. Let's talk about another big item, electrical.
So later on in this inspection, I will take the screws out of the cover, and I will look at the wiring on the inside of this to make sure that this is wired correctly.
Yeah.
That means this panel has to be wired properly, meaning that the ground wires and the neutral wires have to be on separate bus bars. And then with the modern codes and everything, that everybody knows that the grounds and the neutrals have to be separated.
Let's talk about it, because, you know, we're not talking about just brand new construction inspection. So many times you inspect, like you did yesterday in Hamilton, older property, 100 years old. And in real estate, what we see, all these codes are changing so frequently. So many houses today still have knob and tube.
Yes.
And to replace that, that's another 20, 30,000 ticket. Let's talk about electrical that's not up to the code.
The majority of the time it seems like it either revolves around single strand aluminum wiring or knob and tube wiring.
Yeah.
And those two types of wiring are the biggest, roadblocks when it gets to the insurance agent.
Yeah, they don't insure the property if you have knob and tube.
And it's still there today. It can be brittle.
Yeah.
It was meant for 15 amp breakers or fuses back then. You're putting too much amperage over top of a wire that can't handle it. So the insurance companies know that, inspectors know that, or they should. And they need to flag it on reports so that the clients then know and the realtors know, and then action can be taken to get it corrected or to move on.
Well, and another hazard is right behind us, sump pump. Let's talk about this. The crucial importance of having sump pump and maybe even possibility of upgrading to backup system.
Sump pumps are absolutely detrimental here. Now, there's a lot of places around Cincinnati that are on hills and stuff, and I've had clients say, why doesn't my house have a sump pump? The rainwater is going to flow away from the house because you live on a hill. You'll be fine. On a property like this, as it is flat here, a sump pump is crucial because it's going to take all the groundwater and drain tile around the perimeter of this foundation. It dumps it into here, then this can pump it out so the basement doesn't flood. You can have a battery backup, or you can have a backup pump, or you can have both. They allow the water to be pumped out in the event that you lose power during a thunderstorm. And to keep them up, you have to test them every once in a while as a homeowner, just to make sure that they're still doing what they should do to keep your basement dry.
A lot of real estate people, as well as inspector, as well as insurance people, they suggest to many homeowners that this is an amazing upgrade to have. All right, another big ticket, one of the largest mechanical system, HVAC systems. So let's talk about them. What's the lifespan? What do people need to do to keep them lasting longer without problems? And what you gonna watch for?
The most important crucial thing is that people change their furnace filters on a monthly basis. If they have the month-long filter, if they have a 3-month filter, make sure they change it every 3 months because it doesn't restrict the airflow. So keeping the furnace filters changed or cleaned is literally the most important thing a homeowner can do for their whole HVAC system. And the second most important thing is to keep these serviced, cleaned, and maintained on an annual basis by a professional HVAC contractor that does that work. You want to get it tuned up for the winter or every fall and spring. There's some clients that I've had that will do it every 6 months.
To call HVAC company and have it serviced, you're looking at $200. Majority of people who keep up with the maintenance, these systems could last. You did inspection yesterday for us, 29 years. We covered HVAC. Another big system is water heater. They're a little less expensive and a little more affordable in the big scheme of things when it comes to home ownership. The upgrades, we see a lot of new upgraded systems. So what do they do versus the older systems that we didn't have before?
Even though this is new construction, they have a tanked water heater, and it is 50 gallons. So that's fairly typical to have a 40 or 50 gallon water heater. But there are a lot of people that are going to the tankless stuff. And with the tankless water heaters, that's fine. They need maintenance too. Just like a normal water heater like this should be flushed once a year. With a gas water heater, it's a little bit different, and gas water heaters are that's the plumber's ballpark because you're dealing with permits and natural gas and a little bit of electric because it has an igniter and so on and so forth. Those upgraded water heaters are great because it's tankless, it takes up less space. You don't have to wait. Like this doesn't have a drip pan. I'm gonna put that on this report. So
busted.
I know. But because if they do finish this basement, you have a floor drain right there. And a drip pan. If this leaks,
you have a gap. You have a gap.
Right now, the way it's gonna go all over the floor if it leaks. If you have a drip pan to catch it and you run a pipe over to the floor drain, if it leaks, hey, you just get it replaced or fixed. You don't have to worry about restoration and if the basement was.
Biggest concern usually for families finishing basement could be radon, and we find that the levels are higher than acceptable, which is 4.0. How is the testing, and what can one do to prevent the radon in the basement, especially if the goal is to finish and enjoy the space?
On new construction, I usually do it after the people have moved in and they're settled. I can bring my little table in here and put my monitor on it, and then let it go for 2 days. The minimum time it has to be tested for a real estate transaction is 48 hours. If it's concentrated above 4.0, then the EPA says you need to mitigate. Sometimes they will use the sump pump as a draw point and depressurize the house.
When we inspect older houses, especially in the basement or even worse, crawl space, some houses still have a crawl space. We see a lot of mold that's undetected by the current owner.
A moisture issue. And typically we see mold as an issue in attics because of condensation formation, because of under-insulating attics or under-ventilating attics, or both.
Yes.
In basements, it's usually from groundwater intrusion, and or a failed sump pump and nobody knows about it, and water sits in the basement for longer than it should, and then it emanates, and then it can cause mold growth on the joists and on the walls and everything else. And it's just water.
All right, let's address another least pleasant topic in the houses. Obviously, we don't see it in the newer construction, but older houses could encounter creatures, roaches, animals, rats. I mean, we see it all. So let's talk about how do we check for anything that's living in the house that should not be living here.
Because they have a high turnover, people coming and going. Usually rental properties, I will find fleas, bed bugs, roaches, raccoons, squirrels.
In attics, squirrels,
bats, squirrels. Attic restoration is expensive.
So expensive. Checking basement and attic for any creatures is so crucial.
Yes, absolutely. Attics are places where people don't go ever. Homeowners never go in them. And I mean, I will find tunnels in the insulation or mouse droppings, and the tunnels in the insulation could be snakes. It could be mice. It could be both.
If I knew, I'm moving.
My wife said if we find snakes in my house, we're burning it down. And I said, okay, I get it.
All right, now that we're outside, let's discover big tickets. Foundation.
Yes.
We want to make sure nothing is shifting and settling. You see a lot of cracks around the houses, and there are good cracks. I mean, we call them good cracks and bad cracks. So let's tell consumer what's considered good crack and bad crack. Okay. Which way the crack should go to be considered good or bad.
Yeah, so, directional cracks are an indication of whether they are good or bad. If you see horizontal cracking, that's usually not good.
That means houses could possibly shift down the road, right?
Yes, absolutely, because of hydrostatic pressure in the ground behind that foundation wall pushing in on it, which that's when you get those horizontal cracks.
If we see them, structural engineer required, just to make sure we don't have a major surprise later.
Yes. Vertical cracks?
Yeah.
And shrinkage cracks?
Yeah.
Not so much.
Drywall, dryway, sidewalk, that cracks.
It's going to crack.
But we're looking at foundation to make sure there's no big surprise. And then we're checking roof, because roof can get pricey to be replaced. You're checking gutters. A lot of times people don't understand 90% of leaks in the basement are caused by plugged gutters.
So it's just like the furnace.
Yeah.
Where I say people should change their furnace filter monthly. Well, you should clean your gutters annually, sometimes twice. Because the leaves will fall and they'll get clogged, and then you'll get rain. You need to clean it, and then they're not all down yet, and then more will fall. So about twice. When all the leaves are gone off the trees, you want to look one more time as a homeowner, because it is important. You can get ice dams, gutter backups, clogged downspouts, which leads to foundation issues.
And another outside thing that I want to bring to everybody's attention is termites. Here we have no trees, so people go, I don't need termite inspection. Yes, you do.
Yes.
A lot of houses that have no trees around will have high levels of termites.
That's absolutely true, because what we've done is we've cut down all their natural food source and cleared the land to build a house that's made out of wood. So what do the termites want? They want the wood. There is no more wood left for them except for your house. So new construction like this, I usually tell people about the third year, that's when you want to have your first termite inspection, because they haven't found it yet.
Yeah.
They'll be looking, but they have not found it yet.
Okay.
So about the third year, people should start getting a termite inspection on new construction.
Awesome. And another big expensive items are windows. A lot of homes in Cincinnati still have original 1950 windows.
Yeah.
And they're good, well-built windows, but they're getting drafty, which impacts your utility bills.
Yes.
So what are you looking for when you're inspecting windows?
Well, with windows, if it is those older windows,
Yeah.
on the exterior of the home, I want to make sure that they're sealed. Like
Yeah.
the frames are sealed at the siding to make sure that they're not drafty.
Yeah.
I want to make sure that they operate, because one of the things with the older windows that's more important than just about anything is if the house catches on fire, the occupant's got to be able to jump out a window. It has to operate. It has to go up and down or open and close or slide left to right or something, so people can get out in the event of a fire.
Yeah.
The energy efficiency of failing thermal seals, it can be expensive to get those fixed.
Yeah.
And if you want to keep your house insulated
Well, and a lot of people, when we come to upgrade your current home, a lot of people spend money on pretty kitchen, pretty bathroom, but not pretty good new windows because it's very pricey.
Yes.
To replace windows throughout the house, I mean, we're looking at major expense,
Yes.
20, 30, 40
I know.
and up.
I know.
Thousands. So
I know.
that's something you want to make sure you have checked before you purchase your new home. Once you finish, usually we get our inspection report the same day or following day, and the inspection report can be intimidating. You get about 48 pages, what's wrong with every house, but then the 3-4 pages we always focus on are the ones that you have your summary, where you highlight the most important items that you would suggest buyer check with the current homeowner and either get credit or repair depending on how significant the issue is.
Yes. I always turn them out the same day as far as home inspections. Radon testing takes 48 hours.
Yeah.
So a lot of the times I will send out a house and a termite report today, and then 2 days from now they'll get the radon report. So it's always same day, because if I let it go any longer than that, I'd forget. And people are going, where's my report? Where's my report?
Well,
so,
and you do so many, you do 1 or 2 every day.
I
So,
know.
it's so crucial to keep them coming so we don't miss any detail.
Yes, I have to get them out the same day, absolutely the same day. So, and my other inspector, Kevin, same day. So we get them out the same day because, well, we don't want clients waiting around. We don't want the real estate agents waiting around going, hey, where's this, that, and the other. Sometimes I send them at 10 o'clock at night, but it's the same day.
Well, and the blessing is what we tell our clients, if there's something deadly during inspection, we want to make sure if this is not the house that you're willing to pursue, we need to start over. So the time is of the essence.
Yes,
so
absolutely.
if we discover any significant issues that the buyer's unwilling to inherit and move in with, then we terminate the contract and move on and start the process again. So that's why the timing is everything.
It is.
So if somebody's looking for amazing inspector, Adam, how do we reach you?
Well, you can go to my website, you can email me, or you can call me, and the phone number is 513-802-3164. My email is adam@areawidehomeinspection.com, and then the website is areawidehomeinspection.com.
And if you're curious how amazing this inspector is, please make sure you check his Google reviews. 5 stars only. Thank you for your time. This has been amazing.
Thank you.